Hey, what up YouTube? Alright guys, so in this video we're gonna start working on setting up the Android project. Just so that we actually before we begin, um, I just want to say apologies for the last two videos, for the sound quality on the last two videos. For some odd reason my microphone was acting up as I was recording, so I realized that both of them have some issues where the audio kind of like fades in and out for some odd reason. So apologies for that. So currently I'm on a different machine with a different device, and so I want to try this one out and see if it's all gonna go smoothly on this one. Now I'm on a Linux machine, but I'm not gonna do anything Linux specific, and so you don't have to worry about that. So now like I said, we're gonna start setting up the project, the Android project here. Now if you don't have Android Studio, I will leave a link in the description below as to where you can download Android Studio, and then also for Windows users I'm gonna leave a link in the description as to where you can as to which videos you can look at in terms of to install Android Studio. Now if you are on a Linux machine, the process is pretty much simple. So if you check on the left side here, I have this Ubuntu software icon showing here, it's pinned to my left sidebar. You can either click here, or if you click the app drawer here at the bottom left of the screen, let's just say actually let me say frequent. You can either say frequent and then you'll get the icon there, or you can say all and just browse, just scroll down up until you see the Ubuntu software. So I'm just going to click on that, and then I'll show you where you can download Android Studio. Let's just give it a second to open up there. So yeah, another thing is I have the resources here under my flash drive. So look, let me just be honest. So in terms of the design, I did the design in Adobe XD. So when I did this design, there was no plan. All I did was just go into Adobe XD. I started playing around with some shapes and whatnot, and then this is what came out. And then in terms of the color scheme as well, I went to a website called Undraw. Right, I'm gonna explain now what that is. So on Undraw you can practically I think it's open source. You can download a couple of illustrations. I'll show you them now. So basically these are the illustrations that you can download. You can either download them, they're gonna display just now, just give it a second. So you can download various resources here. So for example, if you look at this particular illustration, you can download it either as a SVG or a PNG file. So what I did was, another thing I did was I came here to change some of the colors. So all I did was just play around with some colors, and then as you can see, as you change the color, the illustrations themselves also change. And so you can select whichever colors that you want to work with, and then download the files after that. So the ones I used, basically all I did was just click on the search bar, the search option, and then I just typed in I think I said space, and then after doing that a couple of illustrations came out. So this one here, the launching and the last online, are the two illustrations that I downloaded. Now again, there was no plan here. I just practically wanted something that just looked nice, and then I just downloaded them, and then this is what you see. These are the two illustrations here. If I were to open them up quickly, so these are them here, and then the other one is this one. And so the color scheme that I'm going to be using for the color scheme that I used for these background images here, I got them from these two illustrations. That's just in case if you were wondering. So let me just quickly minimize this. I'm gonna close Undraw. By the way, I'll leave a link in the description below to this particular website if you want to download some more illustrations. I'm also gonna close this, minimize that. Alright, so I have the Adobe App Store. I'm gonna call it the App Store because this is where you're gonna get most of the apps. So as you can see, there's various categories here, over here. And so what I did was, to download Android Studio, I went to here where it says development. I clicked on there. Let's give it a second to open up. So basically you're going to find a lot of apps within this particular platform. So as you can see, by clicking on the development, you get all kinds of apps like the IntelliJ IDEA Ultimate or PHP Storm, Postman, Notepad++, and then here is where you get Android Studio. So if you want to download it, I also have Sublime installed. So if you want to download these apps, all you have to do is just click on the icon itself, and then if you haven't downloaded it, you'll see an install button here where you see the remove button, and then all you have to do is just click on install. And then if you've got everything in place, it should install the application, and then therefore once it's done, you can either come back here to the App Store, and then you will find them wherever within your collection of apps. Alright, so that's for if you're using Linux. I'm not sure how you do it on Mac, but I'm pretty sure the process is pretty much simple. You just go to the Android Studio website, download the app, and then install it for your whatever platform. Okay, so in this video, right, what we're gonna do is just set up the colors, the color scheme, the color palette, and the basic the first page of the application. We're not gonna do much. This is just the setup, and then we're gonna start working on the design within the next video. So now I have Android Studio already up and running, so all I have to do now is just click on there where it says new project, and then from there on all I have to do is select either a basic bottom navigation or whatever, but I'm gonna select an empty activity, and then I'm gonna click on next. Then from here there I'm gonna name my application. So I named my first one User Manager. You can name it whatever you want, but I'm gonna name this User Manager V1. Alright, and then this is the base package, and then it's gonna install save the project in my home directory under my name, Android Studio projects, and then the name of the project. And then because we're using Java, I'm gonna select the language as Java, and then the API, it depends on you. You can just check which API suits you, but I'm just gonna go with the default selected one, as it will pertain to, or as it will work on 98% of devices. Then after that, all I have to do is just click finish. So it's gonna then now run it's gonna build the project and then start indexing all of the files. So while it's busy doing that, I'm just gonna give it a second to do that, and then once we're done, once I'm done, I'm going to we're gonna come back and look at the project and then start setting up all of the resources that we need. So I'm gonna pause the video, and then from there on we'll continue once it's done. One moment for me, please. Alright guys, so we're back. So the project build is done, and so once the project build is done, you should be able to see this interface. So if you look here, we've got the activity underscore main.xml, and along with the main activity class. So basically this is the project structure. So as you can see, this is our package name, and then we have the main activity class sitting under that package. So just to explain, this main activity class is linked to this XML file. So this is where this is called the view. I'm just going to split it quickly. So this is the view, and then obviously if you know XML, all you have to do to add components is to add a tag, whether it's a text view, image view, or a specific kind of layout. This is where you would do it within the XML file. And then the backend for this XML file, or anything that makes this XML file functional on the front end, is the main activity class itself. And so how you retrieve it is, by default, all activity classes that are created for each XML file is going to have this onCreate method that you see here. And then within that onCreate method, it takes in a parameter, a bundle parameter, and then within there, to link this particular class to that XML file, you have to call this method here called setContentView, and then you get the r.layout.activityMain. So the name that you see here is the name of this activity class without the .xml extension at the end. That's just for those of you who don't know. So now that we have this, what we need to do now is to look into this folder called res. So this folder in short, in full, is called resources. So this is the resource folder. So now in the class, as you can see here, there's a r.layout. So what this does is that the R stands for resource, and then under resources there should be a folder called layout, and then under that layout folder there should be a file called activity_main, and that's particularly, and that's how the structure is. And so if you look in this resource file, resource folder that's represented by this R letter here, if you go into it, you'll see that there's a layout folder. And then this layout folder name that you see here is the exact same name as the layout folder that you see there. And if you were to expand it, you will see the activity_main.xml file is in there, and then this is what is being called over here. So that's how activity files, the .xml files that represent the layout are linked to the class files themselves. So again, this is not an in-depth tutorial of Android, but I just felt that I needed to explain that just a little bit. Alright, so for now we're going to look into this folder here called values. So if I click here, in here you find a couple of files in there. There's colors, and then there's strings, and then there's the themes folder. So these two are also quite important, because in here you can, in these two files, what you can do is set up global values that you can access throughout the application. And so what we're going to be looking at first is the colors.xml file. So in here we're going to create our custom colors. Alright, so I'm just going to copy some of these color tags here. So I'm going to copy that and just put them underneath this. I'm just going to call this custom colors. Alright, so basically what we do is we give the name, the color, a name, and then we give it a value, and then when we access it, we call the name itself to access the value of that color. So now by the way, I will share these resources with you guys on my GitHub page. I'll leave a link in the description below to links where you can download these resources. So I'm just going to go back to my USB flash drive. So I have these resources. For now we will get back to this. I just want to come back because in here I have a file here that's called color palette, and then in here we're just going to look at some of the colors that I created. Well, it's the colors on when I was showing you the background image and where to get the resources. You can't stop this operation by clicking cancel. What? Why? Oh, okay. So yeah, these are the color palettes that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to copy this value. Let me just shorten this window. Then I'm going to go back to Android Studio. I'm going to change this value here, paste it there, and then the name of that where's my text editor? There it is. The name of that is plain purple. That's what I named it, so I'm going to name it the same thing. So just remember, in Android it is best to just use small letters and underscores to name files. Do not use camel case, it's going to give you an issue. So I'm going to call that plain purple. So it's value, and then you can also see what it looks like there, right? So I'm going to go back to the text editor, and then I'm going to copy this one, and then the name of this one is royal purple. So I'm going to come back here, paste, and then I'm going to call this royal purple. Okay, and then again you can see there the color changes. Let's go back again there. This one is dark purple. No, sorry, dark royal purple. Okay, just need to copy this again a couple of times. Alright, so let's go back again to the text editor. I'm gonna copy this one, and then let's see, I'm gonna come here, paste it, and then this one is going to be I'm gonna name it light purple, and then the last one should be tropical blue. Now just bear in mind, these are just the names that I chose to call them, call the colors. You can name them whatever you want, but this is what I went for. Alright, so that's pretty much it in terms of the colors. Well, I will show you now shortly how to test them. The other file is this one, which is called strings. So in here you can basically do the same thing as you did within the colors. You create a tag called strings, you give it a name, and then you give it a string. So as you can see, our app name is called user manager, and then when I come in here, I can create another string, resource, right? And then I'll just say I'm gonna call it welcome message, MSG. I'll just say MSG, right? What are you doing? Right? And then I'll just say welcome user. Alright, so I think I have a spelling error there, so I'm gonna save this. So I'm just gonna say welcome user. I'll show you now. So let's close these two folders. Right, and then we come back here to the activity main.xml, and then that's sitting within our layouts folder. So if I come here, as you can see, we have a text view, and then you also get a preview of what it's gonna look like. Let me just minimize this. You get a preview of what it's gonna look like. So as you can see, for the time being, it's saying hello world, which is the text that you see over here. So now, as you saw, we just created a custom string on our strings.xml file, and then we also created our custom colors here on the .xml file. So just let me show you how you can access them. So like I said, you access them globally, and so I'm gonna say background, and then I'm gonna say add color, and then I'm gonna select the color that let me just say color, and then I'm gonna say dark. And then as you can see, because of the IDE, so long as you type it out, the IntelliSense is clever enough to pick up what you are looking for. So remember, we created a color called dark royal purple. So let me see if I select that, and then when I do that, as you can see, the color of the background changes to the custom color dark royal purple, which is the one that we set up here. And so this is what I meant when I said that when you add the in these values folder, you're gonna have these two files where you can create or add certain values that you can access globally. So now, as you can see, the text in our strings.xml file is called welcome user. So now what you will see is that I'm gonna change the color of this text view, the height, the color of the text view, and the message and the text itself. So the first thing I need to do is come here and say text size. I'm gonna make that 40 SP. So for text, make sure you use SP instead of DP, right? And as you can see, it's a little bit larger now. We can increase it, right? And then let's change the text. So now, the same way we access the color up here, what we have to do is say add string, and then we're gonna call the, what is it? I think it said welcome message. Alright, so that's the name there. So as you can see, let me change the color itself. So text color, which is this one here, we're gonna say add color. Sorry, it's in small letters. Add color, and then we're gonna go for tropical blue, right? And that's the custom color we set up. And if you save, as you can see now, the color of the text has changed along with the message itself. So I just wanted to do that within this video. I wanted to show you guys these two files over here, colors and strings, along with the layout folder, and that's basically how you can set global colors within Android in order to make it easy to manage what your app is gonna do. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to show you the setup and all of that, and then the layouts and and so forth. So in the next video we're going to start working on designing this main activity page, main activity, that's how they refer to it in Android. And so within the next video we're going to start working on the design. The design should look, let me just go up here. The design is going to look just hold on 1 second there, sorry about that. Wait, so this is how the design of the main activity is going to look. So we're going to work on that within the next video, and then after we're done with that, we will then move on to working with the registration design and the login design. Alright guys, so that's it for the video. Again, if you've liked what you've seen so far, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys within the next video. Thanks again for watching, and cheers for now.